How's it going, guys? Ghostface Fanatic coming at you with another video. In this video, I'll be talking about Rob Zombie's Halloween. I'll basically just be like reviewing them, basically again, kind of just re-ranking or just re-reviewing them, like basically. As you guys know, I do not like Rob Zombie's Halloween films. I thought that the first one was probably a little better. The second one definitely sucks. It's probably the worst. The first one, I would say, I'll just say this: the first one was way better. All right, because like even though like the rehashing of the scenes is what I hate about it the most, I feel like that the first film, the first Rob Zombie film was way. I don't know. It felt like it was way better. The fact I like the aspect of when Michael was in prison and all that, and he was showed him as a little kid and all that. I mean, I like that. Um, and Rob Zombie's Part Two was just a fucking disaster. I don't even know what the hell happened there, but that's a disaster in Part Two. Um, the first. I don't like the fact in the first one though that they were rehashing the same scenes from 1978. Um, that's the only problem that I had, you know, with it. But I think the second one was definitely the worst. Like the second one, the second Rob Zombie film. First of all, you had Michael Myers wearing a hood. Okay, he's never worn a hood in any of the films, not that I know of. Um, he's never unmasked. Well, he probably did in 1978, but it was only for like a few seconds. Then he put and then he put his mask back on. So I don't. It's just not realistic. Michael Myers has always worn a mask. He's never talked. Um, he's never wore a hood, in any of the films. And you could argue and say, well, it's a remake. Well, I understand that, but you got to go with realism. Still, if you're gonna do a remake of a Halloween film, you have to do it right. You know, Michael Myers is Michael Myers. You don't change his look or change what the hell he looks like, and all of a sudden you just make him wear a hood. Like, what the hell? And then Laurie Strode on top of that. Laurie Strode, you mean to tell me like that Laurie Strode is gonna have hallucinations and shit like that, and she's gonna have hallucinations about a fucking white horse? Come on, bro. Like, get real, dude. This Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 was the worst, dude. It definitely was the worst. I personally think Rob Zombie ruined the films. People could disagree, but I personally think he did. Personally, people say, well, let me tell you what I did enjoy though. The only thing that I really enjoyed was the fact that the kills, okay, the graphic kills. I enjoyed those. Don't get me wrong, but the problem is that when people say that he's better than like John Carpenter and all that, that becomes a problem because he's I could tell you this much that he's not any better than John Carpenter. If it wasn't for John Carpenter, he wouldn't exist. He wouldn't have wanted to remake the film. So in my eyes, he's not better than John Carpenter just because he's his movies are more graphic than John Carpenter's. That makes him better than him. Like, I don't, I don't, man, that's just ridiculous to say. Back in those days, back when John Carpenter, made Halloween, obviously they didn't even have that technology. So I don't even understand why people even like think like that. Like, if it was John Carpenter that made Halloween, well, without John Carpenter, there would be no Rob Zombie, in my opinion. So I just think that if John Carpenter had never made Halloween, Rob Zombie would have never, he wouldn't have ever, remade Halloween, you know? So that's just my opinion about that. I think that he could make a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. I've pointed that out many times. He could definitely make a Texas movie, a Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Um, but I think he needs to stay away from Halloween. I hope he doesn't make another Halloween film. Um, so if I'm gonna rate the first film, I think I'll rate it probably a 7. The second film's definitely a disaster, so that's gonna be a 3 for me because man, what a disaster that was. And then the fact that the little kid that played Michael Myers in the first film, that actor, how come you didn't bring him back in the second film for like the hallucinations? You had some like look-alike in there. Made no sense. But anyways, guys, that's my review basically of Rob Zombie's Halloween films. I'm basically re-reviewing them. I know you guys seen a while back that I did a little rant on the films. But I'm just re-reviewing them basically, and I just gave the first one a 7, and then the second one a 3 because I think the second one was worse. So with that being said, let me know in the comment section what you guys think. With that being said, this is Ghostface Fanatic signing off. Peace.